Just fucking do it. Subscribe now.
The best boxing match we had was between two women. Unbeknownst to me, they were both Golden Gloves. Really good girls. And then we had a little Vietnamese guy and a little Vietnamese girl. And they both weighed about the same. And so I told the Vietnamese guy, I said, don't hurt her. So it started, she knocked him on his ass within about the first 10 seconds. She was martial arts trained, she was quick. And so then he turned around and looked at me, don't hurt her, no. And so it was interesting. Of course, then we had the guy that got shot in the back, who got beat up by the kid. It was, at best, chicken shit, at best. It was, it was an awful thing. And so he's gone now. We're not sure where he is. I don't really give a shit, but anyway. And he was a spoiled little brat. He came to seminar 3 or 4 times. His parents are wealthy lawyers in Manhattan, which I've not gotten to know, that's the wrong word, but they've called me a couple times when he's gone missing, and, he listens to you, Mr. Peña, blah, 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 blah. I don't know who he's listening to now. But the idea is nothing you're going to do with the program, even following the steps, is going to be anywhere near straining or fearful, etc., as for the guys that box. As you saw, there's different levels of skill in that ring. Some no skill, some just brute force. And and you're going to get out there, and the levels of skill you're going to be competing against are going to be 0. No level of skill. Even the guys that are trying to copy the QLA model, because they don't have the scripts, they don't have this, they're not going to go to Toastmasters, they're not going to go to improv. And that's why, and hope's not a strategy, I'm hoping you do, because that's the differentiation. Nobody's going to polish up on their linguistic, etc., etc. Linguistics, excuse me. And so you're going to have an edge, and all you need is a couple edges. One, your appearance. Perception is reality, the way you look. And then, Allah willing, the way when you open your fucking mouth the first time, after all this practice, and you're going to be a step apart. And pretty soon it's going to be not just a step apart, it's going to be, you'll have a distinct advantage. And then the few tools that we use, when you talk about succession plan, in that regard, the Succession TV show has helped us. Nobody really thought about succession before that guy, who I happen to know, Brian Cox, I've told you before. And pretty soon you add up all these edges that you have, and you've got a superior product, you've got a superior style, and you'll have superior results if you follow the steps in the sequence that they're supposed to, and you practice. For every hour I'm in front of you, I practiced 90 minutes before you got here. Although I could give this seminar in a coma. I could be dead, in the morgue, and I could give this seminar. But I practice an hour and a half, and I practice in front of the dogs, and we make fun of it. But I do. The QLA seminar is not just a seminar. It is a blueprint for creating generational wealth as fast as humanly possible. I teach you how to turn nothing into millions, billions, and even trillions. If you want to take control of your life, to create a legacy that lasts for generations, the time is now. Do not wait for the right moment. The right moment is this moment. Be bold, be selfish, be ruthless, and take no prisoners. I will still do seminars, but I won't be able to do this forever. Act now or not at your own peril. Thank you very much. You can never have enough practice. And the world-class athletes that we've been privileged to see over the decades, they all practice. Practice. And they continue to practice. And the ones, and it's always awful to see a guy who fights too long, or a guy that plays baseball too long, or a guy that plays basketball too long, because they've lost some of their motor skills and some of the other things. And normally it's because of mismanagement of their bodies physically from beforehand, or mismanagement of the money. And a lot of guys, I had the privilege of meeting Joe Louis many years ago. He was signing autographs in front of Caesar's Palace for $5. Joe Louis, one of the great boxers of all time, and Stephen King, who was the manager of Caesar's now, who Wynn, not King, Stephen Wynn, who got thrown out of Wynn's casinos here a few years ago, gave him a job, $5 per handshake, because all his money got pissed away and he didn't pay taxes, et cetera, et cetera. And so I paid the $5 and shook his hand. Actually, gave him $20, but anyway. And that's sad to see. Unfortunately, you see it too often. You see it too often. In foreign countries like Russia, the super athletes they had in the Olympics over the years, they set them up for life, as they should. I'm not sure anybody else does that. Questions, comments about the boxing? Or the attempted boxing? Sure. I have inside information on that, so I can't tell you with a clarity. I don't think it was intention the first 30 seconds, but I'm told. But he may have changed his mind during the fight, because he wasn't going to get paid any more for winning or losing. And it always brings up the thing that I still don't, well, I understand because it's money. They always are thinking of a rematch, or there's another clause to fight again. The fact that, I look at the differentiation from the training films that he let out. He looked like premier, world-class, still, at the top of his game. And then how he appeared after the first 6 or 7 exchanges. The fact that he only threw 20 or 30 punches, which, and now, full disclosure, I know the kid and his brother, and I know his dad, okay? And their secret to their success, the brothers, the boxing and the podster, is the father. The father is a rough fucking disciplinarian. And he started them out as child actors for Disney, I think it was. And I've been to their home, and I still remember, this is just before Corona. They bought a pet pig. They thought it was a miniature pig. It was this big. Okay? And I'm talking to one of the assistants, and you don't make mistakes. That's not a mistake you make, And so he says, well, he does a lot of stuff like this, just off the top of his head. And I saw him train. He had a ring there in the house. I don't know. I hope not. But I don't know if it's true, but Tyson was talking about fighting other guys now, other old timers, and I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But it just didn't look like him. He still looks in good shape for 58. Fuck. He still has hand speed, but no. Yeah. The first 20, 30 seconds in the conclusion of the fight, and he wasn't throwing punches. And although he's supposed to be famous for bobbing and weaving and slipping punches, I say tongue in cheek, a couple of you bobbed and weaved better than he did. Any other questions or comments about? Now, this is, I hope it's not a strategy, but this will be the first time we didn't have to send somebody to the doctor. We don't put that on YouTube. Maybe I spoke too soon, but this would have been the first time that we didn't send anybody to the doctor. Because we've had some fairly serious injuries here.
I didn't really notice a lot of significant input on defense. Is that on purpose?
No, because the guys are going all out. If you show 1% of the aggression that you exercised in the ring, you're going to be there. 1%. Understand what I'm saying? 1%. But you won't. I don't say this to put you off. Because you asked me, why do you keep saying it? Because it's fucking true. But I don't put anybody off. The 1% that are going to get it done are going to get it done whether they met me or not. That's the same aggression you've got to do if you want to get in the big leagues. You don't mind, get knocked to the ground, and a couple of you can tell that you've been in barroom brawls before. And I have a guy up there who's worth, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 500 million, something like that. His life goal is he wants to be in a barroom fight, like with bikers, MMA guys, and he weighs about 115 pounds. And I said, Bill, I've been hit with a bar stool that's not made out of balsa wood. I know what it feels like. You wouldn't live through it, but that's his fantasy. That's his fantasy. Remember the picture I showed you? The guys, you want to be warriors, but you want to have a happy life, that slide? If you were a tenth of those warriors, I wouldn't have to explain to the Vikings how to do the program. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have to explain to a 40,000-year-old year ago caveman how to do the program. Saw her with him, kill him, grab her by her hair, drag her off, and fuck her into happiness. We have it in our loins. Even Canadians have it in our loins. What happened to it? Canada, when I was up there raping, pillaging, and plundering 40-some years ago, was a different Canada than today. And I knew the other Trudeau. I met the current Trudeau when he was about 13 or 14 years old, a long time ago. It's all different now. Now everybody, huh? Yeah, well, I was close enough for sure. As they say. But to just show a fraction of that aggression, and you're going to scare the shit out of everybody. When I came here in 81, the UK, they thought I was an animal, like in the Mel Gibson movies. About the same time the first Mel Gibson about, Apocalypse Now movies came out, I was here. And I will neither confirm nor deny that I lay hands on some investment bankers and choke them and drag. I will not confirm or deny that. But where there's smoke, there's fire. So some of those rumors are true. Did I ever get in trouble? No, I never got in trouble. Because unlike you, even the 2 or 3 salespeople that you think you are, I could sell myself out of any wrongdoing I ever did. Because I'm smooth as apple shit. Baby shit. I can always talk my way out of shit. But you show that kind of aggression, this program will be a piece of fucking cake. A piece of cake.